Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
It is time for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Call me right now, 1-800-252-1025. Or we love taking your emails as well at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.
All right, so call that number now, and you can also email lifecoach@KZOK.com. Got a couple of emails here that I think you need to address.
All right.
John in Centralia writes, I am married to a great woman. We've been together, married for 12 years. We've got 2 kids, age 6 and 8. I'm writing you because I think I'm gay. I've had this feeling before, but I love my wife, and I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if I should explore these feelings, considering that I'm married and have 2 young children. I also don't want to deny my true feelings. What do you think I should do?
I actually have strong feelings about this. I think that you need to tell your wife what is up. She has the right to know that, because especially if you follow the second part of my advice is, you've grown a full life, man, and if all of a sudden it turns out I'm gay, that's kind of, in my opinion, God's work on you. That you didn't grow it, you didn't decide it, and you're never, if you're gay, you're never going to be happy again. Really, this is you have to act out on this. Now, if you do it fully and sexually, you got to make sure everything is covered. You cannot bring your long-standing wife home. You can't get any kind of STDs or out there finding out about this. Your wife has a right to safety. And my guess is when you tell her, she's going to love you. When you say, listen, I've been going crazy lately. I think I might be gay. First out, she's probably going to say, no, you're not, honey, and this is why. But then she might understand it. And she might understand it, and she might give you her own advice that's probably going to be very similar to mine. She doesn't want to lose her husband. She's not going to say, I want a divorce. You haven't done anything bad. I'm going to tell you once again, here's my advice. I'll encapsulate it. Tell your wife. And then as long as she's on board with this, explore that area of your life, play real safe, and find out. Maybe you're not. I jump on the bandwagon because I think it's so interesting. Wow, isn't that weird? You went this far in your life and it turns out you're gay. But maybe, it's just something popped up in your head. So play it real carefully. Again, don't bring anything home to the wife. But yes, explore it and find out for sure if you're gay. You have a right to be happy. Hey, thanks for that email. That's a real serious thing.
Yeah, good advice.
Thanks.
800-252-1025. Call that number now with any kind of problem you have, because Danny can help you see through it. 800-252-1025. We've got an email from Cliff in Enumclaw. He writes, I live far away from my family. I have a younger brother who is starting to get into what I fear might be the wrong crowd. I'm in college, which is why I'm so far away, but he's a junior in high school, hanging out with a younger, wild crowd. Since I don't live around him anymore, what could I do?
Well, the best thing that you can do is you can talk with him about this kind of stuff. There's a lot of proof that this ends badly almost every time, because it's not just, is he going to take drugs and OD and die? It's, is he going to quit school? Is he never going to go on to have a great job and be condemned to mediocrity forever? So you do have to talk to him for sure, because here's the allure of the wrong crowd. They're fun. That's what makes you want to go with them. Driving really fast kills you, but until you get in that accident, it's really fun. Drugs are terrible, but until they're terrible, they're fun. So you're going to have your job cut out for you. You're going to have to talk your brother out of doing what he sees as fun. And in some ways, he's right, but it just that the wrong crowd, and I've got the picture in my eye of what the wrong crowd is. I used to not only be part of it, I was the wrong crowd for a while there. It's going to be a tough sell. But, you're going to, and this is just my opinion again, but that's the point of the life coach, that you have to set some standards. If he's, missing school or work or anything like that because he wants to be with these guys, that you need to tell him as your brother, you need to tell him that this does not end well. This doesn't end with a good job and a good wife and a family that loves you. The wrong crowd is wrong forever, and they're called the wrong crowd for a reason.
Isn't it funny how sometimes the answer really is just in a conversation, but a lot of people don't want to have the conversation?
Yeah, I think it's this guy. Well, yeah, no, it's your obligation to have that conversation. Sure. He's your brother.
800-252-1025. Call if you've got a question for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, or email lifecoach@KZOK.com. A lot of problems, sometimes we get these emails and sometimes things seem sort of simple, or with the calls, we had a couple calls yesterday where you said to them, you know the answer.
Yeah.
And you're calling to just sort of hear...
You're calling to have me say the same thing that you were thinking.
Right. So it doesn't mean you shouldn't call, because sometimes just saying it all out loud will help you out. Mary in Issaquah said, my daughter is 16. She was just arrested for graffiti. She's got a court appearance.
That's weird. Not in like I'm making light. You just don't hear that.
Girls.
16-year-old girl, is that right?
Yep.
Doing graffiti?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe it's that graffiti art that's so popular today.
Or maybe it's like Cliff and Enumclaw's brother who fell in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Well, so she has been arrested and has a court appearance next week. What should we do and what can I expect?
I'm assuming that you would have said in your email that she's been arrested 3 times. I'm so worried. And
no,
things
it
like
does
that.
seem like this is a one-off.
Nothing. I don't want to say nothing's going to happen because there's a report of it. They may give her unsupervised probation, which essentially is nothing. She's going to be on probation, and unless she gets in trouble again, that nobody will care about it. But what you really have here is a chance to nip this in the bud. This is bad. She's going out late at night because you can't do it in normal nighttime hours. Cops are out. Other people are out who would call the cops. She's going out in the middle of the night with the wrong crowd. And besides that, because I know a little bit about graffiti, she's climbing fences. She's climbing up ladders onto billboards. Everything about this is dangerous. And to not get busted again, I'll give her a graffiti tip. Either wear gloves or tape. Because everybody that gets arrested for graffiti has a blue fingertip because you've been spraying paint all night. Don't do that part.
The problem is, too, that there's video cameras everywhere. So
and I say that all the time when there's a crime I want the answer to, or Sarah tells me in the news, there's something that I say, hey, you know what? They already have video of this. Right. Somebody covered.
Yep.
So, yeah, if they really wanted to hassle everything, they know where she was when she got arrested. They can find out exactly where they've been tagging. And often these teenagers are not very smart. They tag their name or they tag their affiliates. So, yeah, your sister wants no part of this. Find some other daughter wants no part of this. Find a cooler time away for her to spend her time, because this is one of those things they will track down. Because the property she is destroying, they'll be nice and go, all right, probation for a year. The other thing they could do is say, hey, that billboard was $700,000.
Wow,
you have to pay us back at $25 a month for the rest of your young life. So, yeah, get her out of this crowd.
We've got time for another email on Danny Bonaduce, life coach. The phone number, 800-252-1025. But if you've got an email question, lifecoach@KZOK.com.
Yeah, I take them both.
Rebecca in Seattle. She writes, life coach, I tell people I've been happily married for 6 years. But to be honest, I don't really feel it. I can't identify any specific problems with my husband or our marriage. I just don't feel all that happily married. Is something wrong with me? Is this just the way it is? And should I just be satisfied with what I've got?
Well, I don't know what you have. I mean, a lot of my takeaway last night, that my wife and I played some very fun games last night.
Like backgammon type games?
Yeah, like that. I'm not exactly that, but innocent games. Yeah, some fun things like that. And we laughed a lot. Okay, you should know whether you're happy or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say a lot of the times, like in my marriage, and we've only been married about 4 years, but a lot of the time in my marriage, I like when absolutely nothing is happening. I don't want wild things going on, and it's the greatest thing. If she's listening right now, she's going to be bummed. But I don't want it to be, oh my God, it's so great to be married to you. I want a lot of sitting on the couch, watching TV with my wife. I want, she's taking a real interest in cooking, and that's real fun, and we explore what we eat in my food blog, and we say, it's great to have a partner.
Sure.
But if you ask me if I'm happy, I know the answer is absolutely yes. And I'm going to say this to you, young lady. If you don't know if you're happy, you're not. And yeah, you know what? I went this way while saying it. While this was coming out of my mouth, I realized how I was feeling. If you don't know if you're happy, you're not. Nothing's going on at my house yet. I'm the happiest I've ever been. If you're not, you have a right to it. That's the one thing I say in Life Coach. You need to explore that avenue and find out what makes you the happiest. And by the way, this might be with your husband. I think you don't know what to do next, what your next play is, but I think you should find it. And if you can stay married, you absolutely should. But if you're not, you should move along. But find out. And
maybe go to counseling. You're a big advocate
of counseling. Absolutely. But here's the thing that's weird about your marriage, and if you want to bring it up, nothing's wrong. That's a big call. Make sure but here's my thing. I'll say it one more time. If you don't know if you're happy, it's because you're not. And you need to find out. And you might be very surprised to find out you're absolutely happy. And that's why I think your effort should go to find out if you're happy or make yourself happy. And that's, again, with the counseling. Hey, that's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach today. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Oh, my favorite gift.
Call 1-800-DIVORCE.
Oh, yeah, call 1-800-DIVORCE.